I'm going to describe the rationale for the delegate money for Iowa that's going to be minted in the upcoming demonstration, which is going to be practical, of the Delegate Network. We have all government, federal, state, and local, tax receipts of $5.4 trillion. If we look at the total U.S. assets, they amount to about $225 trillion. If we treat government at all levels as a service of providing property rights as the foundation for civilization, we can divide that $5.4 trillion by $225 trillion, and that gives us a 2.4% per year demurrage or protection fee that essentially describes what the government does for property owners. So now let's go back and try to recapitulate how the government operates with respect to representation. The first Congress of the U.S. had 67 representatives. The population at that time was 2.5 million. That gave us a ratio of population to representative of 37,000 about. And we have a population today of about 330 million. So to have an equivalent ratio for our representatives, that would be 8,000, almost 9,000 representatives. The U.S. representative salary is about $200,000 a year. The Iowa population is about 3 million. If we were to have representation in Iowa that's the same that we had at the first Congress, that would be 84 representatives. If we were to come up with salaries that we require for all of those representatives, that would be about $15 million, thereabouts, annual salary for all of those. And if we look at the first Congress of the number of states, it was 13, and the population per state, almost 200,000. If we had retained the same level of population per state into the present time, we would have about 2,000 states, 1,700 states. The number of states that would comprise Iowa would be about 16 states. So that would give us about 32 senators. Using the senator salary is the same as representatives of 200,000. That would require about 6,500,000. So we're about at $20 million for all the congressional salaries. As I described earlier, if we view civilization as a service provided by government, then we have about a 2.5% per year on the overall property values. When the first Iowa legislature was formed, Iowa had a population of about 200,000. If we relatively arbitrarily set the U.S. to local government elected salaries ratio of 1, then we have the same amount going into the elected representatives for the state of Iowa as we had for the national, which is about 200 million per year. So we add those up, and that gives us about 4.5 million per year, or 450 million per year rather. So if we want to figure out the property values that would be required to support all that government service, we're looking at All those salaries added up, divided by the demurrage, which is a term for basically the rate of insurance on the property values, $2 billion. And that is where the money supply figure is estimated for the Iowa delegate dollars.